So Jennifer and I are collaborating on this blog post. So this is my blog, and Jen's going to be dropping by and doing some guest writing on this blog. And we're going to talk about concrete examples of blogging in the classroom. So I'm going to start off just by doing a bit of a rationale and giving you some of the background for why I started blogging with my students in the classroom. So a lot of my ideas were inspired by Henry Jenkins' white paper, which was written in response to the findings of the Pew Internet and American Life project back in 2005. And then the other paper that really influenced me was Kathleen Blake Yancey's paper called Writing in the 21st Century, which looks at historical perceptions of writing and how it's changed alongside technology and our understanding of literacy and what that means for those who teach writing, or as she says, composing. So in Henry Jenkins' white paper, he talks about participatory culture. And participatory culture is a culture with relatively low barriers for artistic expression and civic engagement, strong support for creating and sharing one's creations, and some type of informal mentorship whereby what is known by the most experience is passed along to novices. Participatory culture is also one in which members believe their contributions matter and feel some degree of social connection with one another. And at the very least, they care about what these other people think about what they've created. There are different forms of participatory culture. The first sort of circle is affiliations. So this includes memberships, both formal and informal, in online communities centered around various types of media. So things like Facebook, things like message boards, things like that. The next kind is expressions. So this is where people produce new creative forms through things like digital sampling, video making, mashups. And the next is collaborative problem solving, where people are working together in teams, both formal and informal, to create certain tasks and develop new knowledge. So things like Wikipedia. And then finally, circulations, and this means shaping the flow of media. So things like podcasting and, surprise, surprise, blogging. The second paper that influenced my move towards blogging was Writing in the 21st Century. This paper really takes a look at historical perceptions of writing and how they've changed over time. Thanks to Web 2.0, there are opportunities for composing all over the place. So we've got Facebook, we've got Google Docs, we've got blogging platforms, even national media sites where people can upload comments and descriptions. So when I thought about doing blogging in the classroom, one of the first things I thought about was what can blogging do that conventional writing can't do as well? And so I thought about the way that I used to do literature circles. As an English teacher, I would have students read the books, and then we would have meetings, and the next day students would hand in an in-class journal that they submitted to me for marks. So this was meant to prepare them for the essay later on, but the collaboration essentially ended as soon as the meetings ended, and they didn't get to read the work of their peers. This is when I switched over to blogging, and what blogging basically allowed me to do was create a platform for my students so they could be writing for an authentic audience. They could share their ideas with each other, and they could get feedback that was more meaningful for them. One of the other really important parts, and you'll see this in the samples below this video, is commenting. After writing a blog post, my students would read the post from their peers and then they would comment. And so they had to, we talked about what made a good comment, and we talked about how it both acknowledged what the writer had said and somehow extended the conversation. Tagging is also a feature of blogs that really make this writing form really rich. So as students write blog posts, they can choose keywords and they can tag their blog post with those keywords so that students can then later on search for those topics. So just below this, I'm going to have some examples of some screenshots and things like that of some of the work that I've done in the classroom, and Jennifer is going to add some concrete examples of blogging in the classroom as well. And we're also going to have a space for you at the end of this post to comment. So I would really like to encourage you to respond to the prompts at the end of this post, and we'll see you back later in class.